Why I hope the Lowe's parking lot is haunted. This is a good sign. Yeah. Thank you for that. I really needed that. Thank you. Dothan, Alabama. There was primordial ooze, then dinosaurs. Mammals finally got a solid handle on things. Later came humans, some migrating from Asia to our side of the earth, becoming First Nations. Then we white folks showed up around here, and a whole lot of shit has gone down ever since, including how black folks first came to Alabama. And I am so sorry about everything back then and nowadays. After a few wars and disco came the 1980s. The music was good. Now, let me be clear. The music was very good. And the fashion, y'all just Google and behold. There's an especially sweet spot around 84 to 87. In the early 80s, after Gary Newman sang Cars, but before the Cars sang Drive, kids rode unbuckled in cars, bouncing around the back seat like little high bounce balls. I was an early 80s little girl here in Dothan, and I hope the Lowe's parking lot is haunted. Not the Pavilion Lowe's, the other Lowe's, out by where Highway 52 hits the circle. But it wasn't there when this story begins. The building across Hartford Highway from it, though, that's been there a while. And first, it was a grocery store called Superfoods. Y'all, the meat department was scary as hell. Because walking along the back road, I look up at these massive blue stained glass triangles hanging from the ceiling. What were they thinking? Let's select decorations for a store that should one bolt give will turn into giant shattering guillotines that will dismember customers. The whole time my mom shopped for hamburger, my skin would crawl. Time would stretch and twist in on itself until we moved into the sanctuary of aisles of boxes and cans. But I kept that secret. See, you don't reach my age and be this thoroughly fucked up by anxiety and depression without some practice. I have been training since preschool, y'all. You know how when something scares little kids in the night and they go and ask to climb into bed with their parents? Me, age 3, laying in bed. There's a weird sound outside. Are the alien spaceships sounding? Is it Dracula leading an army of vampires to come bite everyone? Up I go in my feetsy pajamas with the zipper up the front to tell my parents about the scary thing, and they sleepily have me climb up in their bed. But I lay there wide awake and wonder, am I really safe or is this a trap? Because what if the monsters have already gotten a hold of my parents? And I just climbed into bed with monster parents who any second would roll over, throw back the covers, reveal their transformation before turning me into a werewolf or a vampire. But I kept that fear a secret. Living in Panama City, I was a brownie. Going to Girl Scouts day camp meant crossing Hathaway Bridge twice a day. Picture 4, 5, 6-year-olds piled in the camper back of the troop leader's pickup truck. She had that little window closed, we were sealed off. And as we approached, every time we mounted the bridge and we got up to the high part where the metal strut work is, I'd curl up in the floor of the truck and scrunch my eyes shut because I was resigned to the fact that I was about to die. Because all I could imagine was a wreck, the truck plunging off the side of the bridge, and me not being able to swim to the surface. I had no concept of dead on impact. I was 6, leave me alone. But I kept that fear a secret. They all just thought I was laying there because I was car sick. But here in Dothan, there was something even more frightening about going to Superfoods than the ceiling ornaments of doom. There was a haunted house that lurked malevolently on the left. If you're coming from inside the circle, on Hartford Highway, it's right there on the left, after the intersection, before you turn right into the parking lot. Where Lowe's is now used to be thick, dark green woods. So many spiders. And the outer slope of trees were blanketed in kudzu. Set back a ways from the road, almost hidden, was this gnarled, empty farmhouse, circa 1910 maybe, and it was every visual cliche of a haunted house. Empty window sockets, traces of peeling white paint, vines growing into every opening, a sagging porch with a crawl space underneath it, that for sure housed the disembodied hands that would burst up through the floorboards and grab your ankle and pull you down into an eternity of torture. That house was creepy. Even in the daytime, it was so dark that I never once caught a hint of a glimpse of the inside. I was scared of the haunted house, but I also wondered about its history. I felt deeply sorry for the people who built it, because I thought they'd be sad if they saw it all abandoned and crumbling. I wondered if little kids ever lived in that house. How did they play? What happened when the old-timey people got sick and they didn't have the vaccines and medications that we have now? How many people died in that house? Did the man who lived there drink too much? Did the woman and the kids cry a lot? And in all that wondering, beyond being scared of an old haunted house, it was totally, definitely haunted. The curiosity also became an exercise in empathy and compassion. Every drive past, I'd watch for that house. It was this inexplicable swirl of dread and anticipation and fear and fascination. Seeing it in daytime was manageable. At night, though, that was real fear. I just knew there was a ghost in that house watching me pass by in that green car. And it knew that I knew that it knew. I wasn't wearing a seatbelt, so there were way too scared nights and brave nights. As we drove past, was I pressed up as hard against the passenger side door, as far away in the backseat as I could be from the haunted house? Or was I able to sit on the driver's side of the back seat, pressing my cheek against the cool glass, scared but defiantly curious? No one knew about my relationship with the haunted house. I kept that secret. For the record, none of the millions of things that scared me as a child compared into the slightest to the horror that was school. Day after day, year after year, school was orders of magnitude worse than any monster burped from a hellmouth in a haunted house. But I kept that secret too. But now it's 2019, and the struggle to destigmatize mental illness is huge. Cystic fibrosis, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, depression, macular degeneration, all bodily problems. So why does society judge one item on that list so differently? I have asthma, I get migraines. I wrestle with anxiety, being bullied by catastrophic thinking, feeling scared like 99% of the time now, overthinking every damn thing. Awake for far too many 2 a.m.s, trapped in this like lather, rinse, repeat thinking because I can't stop worrying about something no matter how much I want to stop worrying about it. My right pinky toe lays weird because I've dislocated it so many times. I struggle with depression and have had suicidal ideation in the past. I wear glasses and I've never had a cavity. This is all normal health stuff. Believing that any of this is anything but a medical condition is unacceptable. It has nothing to do with morality, weakness, punishment, sin, an attack by the devil, or you just need to try harder, or you're being lazy, or you just have to refute this. You can't pray it away, it's not voluntary, and it's not our fault. Maybe a person's born predisposed, maybe it's the result of an external trigger, like abuse or trauma. Sometimes these complicated meat sacks we inhabit malfunction. And because of some glitches in the brain portion of my meat sack, my imagination is both my greatest asset and my worst enemy. My imagination helps me make art and makes me really, really resourceful. But it also makes me spend like the last couple of hours between every shift when I'm about to go into work, sick to my stomach, and this movie screen in my head playing everything that could possibly go wrong in the shift. And my imagination, every nanosecond, my imagination knows that I can make a mistake and I can fail. Now, my imagination helps me figure out steps to build a better life, but my imagination also convinces me that I don't deserve that better life. So I still have way too scared nights and brave nights. The difference is that now I'm not ashamed and I don't keep the secrets anymore. Also, I'm really annoyed that that patch of land by Hartford Highway is paved over now. Instead of mystery, there's asphalt and big box store consumerism. And while that house may have been torn down, I really hope the Lowe's parking lot is still haunted.